Hey Beauty, welcome back to another episode, another segment of Kim Cooks Live. And this is where I teach you how to make super easy, super fast, delicious, healthy, plant-based meals and snacks for you, for your whole family, that you can just whip up, that are amazing for your energy, for your overall health and well-being, and of course, for your beauty, for your skin, for your hair. So we really, all my recipes are plant-based, they're gluten-free, they're properly food combined. So they not only taste good, but they're actually giving you all this amazing nutrition to really support your energy and again, your natural beauty. So today we're making what I call my Clear Asian Amazing Soup. And it's amazing, not only because it's really tasty and delicious, but because you can make this meal in 5 to 7 minutes. And it's so easy when you're on the go. You can just make it super fast when you're tired, and you get something that's really nourishing, really wonderful, warming in your body, and has a lot of amazing properties, as I'll talk through. So first I want to show you the ingredients. All right, I'm gonna just hold them up because this thing is a little bit clunky. Okay, so our base for the soup is gonna be some organic vegetable broth, and you can make your own with kitchen scraps, or you can just get some organic homemade in a carton if that's easier. We've got some organic spinach. We've got some organic celery and carrots, which you'll see we're gonna add in first, and this is gonna add a little bit even more flavor to the vegetable broth while it's simmering. It adds a nice base. When you look at vegetable broth, you see that it often has celery and carrot in the stock as a base. So these are always two vegetables that are amazing for veggie broth anyway. Then we have some cabbage, which is gonna add some fiber, some extra minerals. Cabbage is a member of the cruciferous family. It's an amazing, underrated beauty food. I talk about cabbage all the time. It's an amazing detoxifying vegetable, just really nourishing your system, cleaning out your GI tract. We know our gut is connected to beauty through our skin, our energy, our moods in so many different ways. We're also gonna be adding in some warming ginger, which has metabolism boosting properties, circulation boosting properties, helps that oxygen get all over. It's not irritating, it's not overheating the way cayenne pepper can be or garlic can be. So I like to use ginger in a lot of different recipes. It's always a great idea to have some organic ginger stocked in your kitchen. You can add it to your hot water with lemon. You can add it in soups like this. Ayurvedic medicine says that ginger opens the 12 shrotas, the 12 detoxification pathways of the body. So I actually try to use ginger almost every day. It's wonderful, it's inexpensive. Again, just wonderful food. And then we're gonna be using some coconut oil. You see we use a lot of coconut oil around here. We got this huge vat. And I definitely say to make sure that you're getting one that's organic, that's unrefined. There's a lot of different brands out there. This is Nutiva. So we're gonna be cooking with that. We're gonna be adding a little bit of liquid Bragg's, or if you have tamari, this is basically gluten-free soy sauce made from non-GMO soybeans. And then this is optional, of course, but if you want even more saltiness, you can add some sea salt. And then we are also going to be putting in, this is sprouted tofu. So this is not only organic and non-GMO, but it's sprouted, meaning it's been, the soybeans have been soaked. You can look for this at your local health markets. I'm seeing more and more sprouted tofu. Makes it even easier for you to absorb the nutrition, to get all that amazing plant protein in your body. Now, we've talked about soy before. In my first book, I was not using tofu so much. I was still using tempeh, which is fermented. But since then, there's been more research I've done, constantly reading about this. And I find that, if you don't have a soy allergy, working in some, again, I keep saying organic, non-GMO, whole forms of soy, such as tempeh or miso or tofu, are definitely okay to rotate in. And what they were saying before about trypsinogen blockers or man boobs, like some of these things they were saying about soy, it turns out you would have to have huge amounts, and some of that information was being put out by organizations affiliated with animal agriculture, which didn't really want soy to become this amazing alternative. But I think it's okay to work in, for sure. I work it in with my lentils and my seeds and my nuts. I don't eat it every single day, but I definitely have it in a weekly rotation. Okay, so all you need for this is a big nice cooking pot here. You can see I use ceramic cookware. It's easy to clean. It doesn't have Teflon in it, and it's just great to use for your cookware in general. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to medium high here. And you're just gonna take, to start, some of your coconut oil. Let me pull you a little bit closer, Beauty. Isn't this fun? It feels like we're cooking in the kitchen. Vicki says, what was in that large container? So this is coconut oil, and we're gonna use this to just brown some of the veggies before we put in the veggie broth. So I'm gonna take about a teaspoon or so. And when I'm cooking, I mean, you can measure, but I tend to not really measure. I just take a little spoonful, and I'm gonna add that in and just kind of let it warm up. Again, medium high, not like blazing, but enough to get some heat going in our veggies. So again, I want to mention, I mentioned this in my other videos, but in case you haven't seen anything else or you're new, I don't personally cook anymore with onions and garlic. I find them very irritating. I find that they can make me more irritable. There's a lot in Ayurvedic medicine about this. I have some blogs if you're interested in reading them. They of course have amazing health properties. Garlic is great for cardiovascular health, onions as well, contain quercetin, can open up your body, vitamin E, so on and so forth. I actually talk about them in my second book, but from a full holistic perspective of staying calm and chill and not feeling irritated in my stomach, I don't use onions and garlic, but it's a personal choice. If you do like to use onions and garlic, I'm just lowering the heat a tiny bit here, I would say you could add them right now in this very first step. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in the celery and the carrots. So just one celery stalk diced, or sliced rather, and then one carrot sliced. And this is about a cup of chopped cabbage. I'm gonna throw this in as well. You know how I love my cabbage. You can get a whole head of cabbage for like, I don't know, $3 or $4, and then you have it for so many different recipes, and it's so amazing. So let's see, check this out. Everything's just in there, starting to saute away. And the beauty of doing this, when you cook the veggies first before just kind of boiling everything, like if I was just to heat up water and throw all the veggies in, it just adds a little bit more flavor. You can season the veggies at this stage. You can put some salt and pepper, but just by cooking them in the coconut oil lightly, somehow it adds more depth to the soup. So I never skip this step. I always like to just saute, add some love in. It just takes a couple minutes. And like I said, if you wanted to add onions and garlic, you could do it at this stage, but not me. Everything keeps evolving, right? I mean, you look at my second book, Beauty Detox Foods, like every recipe had onions and garlic in it. Okay, so we can just pretend like I've been doing this for a couple moments. It's starting to brown a little bit. Looks nice, smells nice in my kitchen. So now at this stage, and this, by the way, this is a serving size for 2 people, or 1 if you're super hungry. This is 4 cups of organic vegetable broth. Like I mentioned, you can just take all the scraps in your kitchen and make your own broth once a week, which is what I do sometimes. Or you can just get store-bought. There we go. So I'm adding the 4 cups right into my veggies. And right away, I'm going to add the sliced ginger because I want all that ginger goodness to come in. So this is about a cup of sliced ginger. And you can see I don't take the skins off. If it's organic ginger, I'm cool just to chop it and add it right in. So at this point, I'm gonna turn the heat back up to high because I want it to boil a little bit, and then I'm gonna bring it down to a simmer. And then I also have this beautiful cup of organic spinach here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in. Another great option for the soup would be bok choy, which sometimes is a green we don't use all the time as much as spinach. That would be a great way to rotate bok choy in. I look for it sometimes. Sometimes it's harder to get, but if I can find it, I get it. If I can see it at the farmer's market, amazing. I know the one in Union Square in New York, which is my favorite farmer's market, had it all the time. So we've got some beautiful chives here, but we're not gonna add them till the end. You can also use green onions if you don't wanna use chives. Chives are just what I happen to have in my kitchen today. Okay, so this is gonna get nice and hot, and then it's gonna come down. I'm gonna simmer it. Now, at the same time as we're doing this, we're gonna take this beautiful ceramic pan, and if you guys are interested in the cookware that I use, you can check out my website, KimberlySnyder.com. there's a section called Kim's Picks, and I have direct links to my cookware, to the kitchen gear I like a lot, in case you're interested or you're wondering. Okay, so I'm gonna take just a little bit more coconut oil again. You know, like a teaspoon or so, just like a little spoon of it, like that. And I'm gonna put it over here in this pan. I'm gonna turn it on medium-high. Bloop. Yeah, now you see why I use so much coconut oil around here. You can skip this step if you want to, but again, if you're having this for dinner and you want it to be really satisfying, you just put a little bit more effort in it. What we're doing right now is we are going to be browning the organic, non-GMO, let me say it for the 12th time, tofu, so it gets a little bit of a sear on it. So we're gonna be using the coconut oil, and here's where we're gonna add a little bit of liquid brags on top of it, which is gonna give some flavor, and it's going to just make it taste nice. Hold on one second, let me grab a napkin. Kitchen towel. So with this, I like to make it, again, medium-high. And this is about 14 ounces of organic tofu. I sliced it beforehand. Some people like to just cook the whole thing and then slice it afterwards. It's personal preference, of course. It's up to you. So I like when we maximize our time. Like, this is gonna simmer now. It's starting to get really, it's boiling. So now I'll show you guys. I'm gonna bring it down to a simmer. See the little bubbles coming? So this I'm gonna lower to a simmer, and everything's gonna time out perfectly. By the time this is done, this is gonna be done, and I'm gonna throw this in here. So now this is on medium-low, and what that's gonna do is it's just gonna let all that amazing ginger just steep in there, and we can get all the properties of the ginger, which is, again, great for metabolism, great for circulation. And now I'm gonna take about a tablespoon or so of this liquid brags, and I'm just gonna pour it over my tofu. It's cooking over here. Ooh. Be careful with the coconut oil if it spattles a little bit. Just turn it down. And what I try to resist doing, if you're like busy hands, is like stir, stir, stir. And I try to really just let things chill. One thing I learned from my Thai vegan cooking class in Bangkok, don't stir too much, was what my teacher kept saying. Don't stir, don't stir. Let it cook in its own way. So I'm just gonna let this tofu brown. And it's a pretty big amount of tofu. Like, this is pretty filling. So like I said, this would be a serving size for 2. So you could make this for yourself. You could pack it for lunch the next day, or if you have a roommate or a spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or, you know, whatever family member you live with, you could share it, or you could save it and have it for dinner the next night, which is something I do a lot. I don't mind having dinner the same thing twice in a row. So now this is, just say it's been simmering for a couple of minutes. It smells really nice. Oh, and the ginger smells amazing. So again, vegetable broth and ginger together is a really great way to make a really flavorful broth. So it's starting to brown on one side. I'm just gonna go ahead and flip it over. You can use this with your handy wooden spatula. Oh, so when I'm cooking and stir frying, I always really like to use wood. I don't like to use plastic, even if it's BPA free. I really prefer the naturalness of wood. I just, you know, there's no chemicals that are gonna leach into your cooking. Okay, so I want to show you this one perfect little piece of tofu that just browned. See him here on the end? Right there. So imagine, like, if I was doing this, I would do it, you know, carefully. I would kind of brown one side and then flip it and brown the other. But you get the gist of what we're doing here. This combines as a protein-based meal. So when you have this, if you were having this for dinner, you could have a salad first. I would definitely encourage you to have a nice green salad, and then you would have this for your entree, and there's quite enough bulk and protein from the tofu so that this would be your complete meal. Let me just grab a ladle. So let me show you what the finished soup is going to be like. You're going to take some of this soup here and ladle it right into the bowl, and you can see the colors. You can see how beautiful it is from the cabbage and the spinach and the carrots, and it's like full of orange and different shades of green. It's quite beautiful, and we always want to have colorful food. So then I'm going to take some, say this was a portion size, I would take about half of the tofu and just put it right into the bowl like this. And then finally, to top off, I'm going to take some of these chives. And I just chopped about, 2 tablespoons or a quarter cup or so. And I'm just going to take the chives and put them right on top. So there you go. There is my amazing Asian soup that I made in literally 5 minutes or so. And it's filling, it's great, it makes a really fast, awesome lunch. The ginger is super flavorful. And now if you did want it to be a little bit more salty, if you did like a low broth, vegetable broth, for instance, you could always add a little bit of, sea salt if you wanted to. That smells so good. And you could also top this with cilantro. You could top it with more greens. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat a salad on the side. Let me give it a little try. And what I like is there is a little bit of a, it's hot, so I'm going to leave it here. There's a little bit of a fat component from the coconut oil. And it's so good. I love soup. Even though we're coming into hot weather, I just think soup is wonderful, hydrating, warming. It will cool your body down naturally as it starts to get hot outside. So I do not mind at all having soup in the hot weather. Zainab says, "What's in the bottle?" So this is what's known as liquid aminos, liquid brags. It's basically a watery, gluten-free soy sauce. It's not as thick as tamari, but it adds that soy sauce flavor. It doesn't have wheat. It doesn't have gluten. It's made from non-GMO soybeans. So it's something that you can use like when you're making things Asian or you're doing stir fries. It's a really great ingredient. Hi, Vicki. Yes, definitely try it. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? So, Jency, how do you wash the wooden utensils? Well, I put them in the, I wash them with natural soap and sponges, like I would wash anything else. I don't put them in the dishwasher, though. I do wash them by hand. So that's something you could try. Oh, yeah, so Sue, this is actually a soup. I want to mention this now. That's part of our 30-day roadmap for healthy weight loss, a version of this soup. So it's, as you said, as you can see, super easy to make, super delicious. So if you're interested in more recipes like this, which will fill you up, give you great nutrition, and digest easily and help you slim down as you have energy, please check out my 30-day roadmap. It's on KimberlySnyder.com. It's daily coaching videos from me, and it's also meal planning and step-by-step cooking instructions. So if you guys are interested, you can check that out as well on my website. Hanane says, can we replace the coconut oil with olive oil? Well, when I'm stir frying or browning and it's a pretty high temperature, I really prefer not to use olive oil, which isn't as stable as coconut oil. Coconut oil is saturated, so it has those double hydrogen bonds, which are going to keep the fat more intact as the heat rises. Olive oil is a monounsaturated fat, so it has some hydrogen bonds, but not the double hydrogen bonds of coconut oil, so I don't recommend it for high heat cooking. John Allen Smith said, second book, question mark. Actually, John Allen Smith, the 5th book, you've missed 2, 3, and 4. The 5th book is on its way. I'm actually doing copy edits this weekend, so I'll be holding all weekend. But yeah, I think the 5th book is perhaps the most exciting of all. So that's on its way. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy. I hope you make this amazing clear Asian amazing soup for yourself. It's great. Jamie on our team said it's one of her favorite recipes, so she makes it all the time. She and her husband eat it all the time. Oh, Bubby's waking up. So I'll see you guys soon. Sending you lots of love. I'll see you on the blog. Remember, there's lots of recipes there. Make sure you subscribe because I'm on here random times. Till then, lots of love.